Welcome to the Just Montina channel where we're having conversations about marriage, men, and mindset. So, hello to my new viewers and welcome. And hello to my returning viewers. Thanks for subscribing. Y'all, it makes me so happy to see subs. It's so funny because I have another channel I started in 2009, like 40,000. And when I see like another one, I'm like, oh, I got 200 subscribers. But in this video today, I'm talking to my men. I'm gonna keep talking to y'all. So when I make videos for the women, I'm gonna talk to my men too. And this one is for my men, mainly over 50, because that's where I'm at. My husband will be 55 this month. I'm 45. He's 9.5 years older than me, and I've seen some distinct things in him. And then, you know, his friends and circle of influence and other women that I'm finding with their circle of influence with men that are just true for men over 50. And for those of you that want to marry again, I know it's just a handful of you, but there are some. You all are subbing to my channel. Y'all better join Patreon. I do it $5. Now, y'all don't get the juiciness, okay? But you do support. So y'all need to join the happywifeproject.com. But I created this because for many of you all, I know that you want women that are either in their 40s, in their 50s to enjoy life with. And I asked my husband recently, why did you want to get married again? Because before I met my husband, he was single for an entire year, but my husband's been in relationships. My husband had been married prior, just like me. And his last relationship was like 2 years, and he was going to marry her, but then he said there was like a turning point where some things happened, and he was like, yeah, no, this wasn't going to work for him, and they split up, and he was single a year before he met me. But I said, well, he's always been marriage minded. My husband's always been in relationships. And he said, well, I just didn't want to come home this big, happy, this is my background for real. I'm actually sitting in my kitchen. I brought my little chair in here from our little bar stool right there. And I said, why did you want to get married again? And he said, because I didn't want to come home to this big old house and be alone. I didn't want to be alone. He said, I knew I could get married again. I have the things women want. I got a house, I got a car, I got a job, I have everything a woman wants. He said, I wanted to get married again. So then I said, well, why did you marry me? Like, why did you choose me? He said, my husband, oh, he's amazing. I know I'll be talking about that, but my husband is he's just such a cool man. I love him so much. He's my Superman. But he kind of looked, and he has this way that he does things. And he said, because you were a secret. He's like, I never met anybody like you. You were different. And he said, I knew I had to marry you. He said, I knew you weren't going to be on the block long. Yes, we kind of call it the block. And I want to encourage you all, my men over 50. There are some women out here that are unicorns. But here's what, I could talk a little bit about kind of me, but I don't want to do it in such a way that it's like you're looking for Montina as the blueprint. But I'm just going to kind of outline some things that worked for me and my husband. He had a home, and when he met me, I actually didn't have a home anymore. I sold my house. I built a house when I was 30. When I moved to Atlanta, I had sold the house. I didn't have my house anymore, which was a nightmare. I had tenants. Oh, it was a mess. But I had an apartment. But I knew I was probably going to get married again. So I had an apartment, but there was a thought of purchasing a property, and I was going to move actually out of state. But when I met my husband, he didn't marry down, and this isn't to downplay, wherever anyone is in their lives, but we kind of married at a status level where we both are here. He had accumulated some amazing things and assets. I had accumulated some amazing things. So I came into the marriage, I came into the relationship with my own vehicle. Then later got another vehicle. I got a Tesla. We purchased the vehicle together. My husband had a home. My husband had a retirement. My husband has a job. My husband has a lot. But when I came in and added a lot of value to his life. I had excellent credit. I'm really, really, really good when it comes to finance and bills. And I kind of noticed some things were going on. I said, hey, can I take this and take this over for you? Or can I help with this? And so I really came in trying to help. Now, here's the thing. I know y'all over 50 men. Y'all are, I call y'all the Renaissance men. Like, y'all are the last of the very traditional men. I get that. Y'all don't mind being no stepdaddies. You really don't mind, women with children. You don't mind women a little extra junk in our little trunks and things like that. Well, really not trunks, a little everywhere. Because over 40, honey, it is everywhere. We got to work hard. Give us some grace. Because we give it to y'all with them Papa Bear bellies. But I didn't, when he came to my house to visit, I would cook for him. You know, I recognized he would go to my son's games. I always made sure I had the tickets. I bought the tickets. I didn't wait for him to get there to buy the tickets. I tried to be very, very considerate. So when he would drive an hour, hour and a half, sometimes in Atlanta traffic, 2 hours to see me, I'd always have something there for him to drink, something there for him to eat. I try to be very pleasant with the conversation. So I've run my own company for about 10 years. So if there was time when he was off, I try to take off and be considerate, but I just tried to make sure that I made myself available for him. If he wanted to talk, I picked up the phone. If he text me, I text him back right away. So I showed the same amount of interest. But again, I also came to, I hate to say the table, but I came into the relationship with more than just I can cook and I can clean and as I listened to Patrice O'Neal, I got multiple holes in my body. I came with more than that. Because over 40, I should have more than that, right? So I came with intelligent conversation. I came with, hey, let's go to Puerto Rico. My husband hadn't really traveled because he'd been in the military for so long. We travel, but not for pleasure. And so I was a great listener, and things that he said that he liked and enjoyed, I made sure that I made those accommodations in my life and also added that value to his life as well. So again, I'm kind of talking between the lines for y'all men, and I'm sorry because I'm not saying kind of straight and narrow, but I can only share so much about our conversation. I also made sure, shifting the conversation into family, that, I wanted his children, all of our children are adults, but I wanted his children to feel comfortable with me, his family members, and I wanted them, to really just know that I love him. I know some of you all may have, especially if you're a traditional good man, you probably have had some women that were takers. I would suggest looking for someone that compliments your giving. So it's almost like with my husband and I, we're trying to outgive each other. Like we're constantly serving and loving, and I'll cook, he'll cook. If I'm doing some work and didn't get to dishes during the day, my husband will do the dishes. I mean, it's not a competition in terms of the relationship, but it's complementary in terms of the chemistry. And so those are just things I want to share because I don't want y'all to give up. Again, I know it ain't but a handful of unicorns, but I'm trying to help them in my group, and I want them to at least have some men that are available for them that still believe that there are some amazing women out there that get the assignment. So my husband and I do kid about that. Like, I understand the assignment. And again, the women, we're doing our best in our 40s to be fit. Either she's attractive or she's not. But women have gone through a lot. Inspiring. I do encourage the women to read and travel and go and do. But they're just, again, I would suggest that you marry up and not marry down, but also marry up in terms of your status, what you can handle. My husband is amazing, but I have learned I don't overshadow him. Okay. So even though I have my company, I've won a lot of awards, I've done a lot of things, a lot of accolades, I don't overshadow my husband. My husband is someone that I deeply, deeply respect. He's a very humble man. Sometimes I learn things about him I didn't know when he's having conversations with other people about his military background. So I would suggest that, like, say, let's just use a retired vet as an example, and thank you for your service. And you decide that you want to go with a school teacher or a counselor or possibly a principal. Well, again, think about that, but is that a status that you can handle? If she's coming into the relationship, she already has her own house. She might. I'm one of a few. I was like, I'm not buying no house. I've been there, done that. It's a lot of maintenance. But if she has a house, how can you add value? Is she going to be willing to give that house up and come live with you? Or are you going to be willing to give up your house and go live with her? Probably not, because most of y'all masculine men wouldn't do that. But if she's in that, like, I don't know, and I've had this a long time, it might not be worth the effort that it's going to take to convince her to sell that house. I mean, women that are ready are ready. When I met my husband, when he finally said, you need to give up that lease, I was like, oh, I've had my own since I was 19. But I knew it was time when he said it was time because I respected his authority. So he made sure that I felt very comfortable in our home, and made sure that I knew that this was not just his home. This was now our home, and it was a safe place. And what did I need to do to make it a safe place? Hanging up pictures, bringing in some of the things from my home. And because he had furniture. I mean, I'm like, I moved in an Architectural Digest. But he made sure that I felt like this was my home too. So I'm going to encourage you all, my 50 and over men. These women want to feel like it's their home too. We don't want to just live with you and feel like it's your bachelor pad still. So there are some feminine touches we're going to add to it that might irritate you. So I hope this is a little bit helpful for you all and encouraging for you all. I listen to everything out there in the manosphere. I do, because I really want to make sure that my husband's life is the best life that he can have, because he deserves it. He deserves every bit of it. So I know it's being said that women want, your meat, your money, energy, attention, and time. But you all want our time, energy, attention. You want us to have money because you want us to look good and be available to you. So we all want the same thing. So instead of meeting in the middle, let's just collide and build something amazing together. So again, there are some women that really get it. And the ones that do, you better scoop them up, because I'm going to tell you, if you don't scoop them up fast, somebody else will. So this is just me, Montina, having conversations in the kitchen. If y'all are so inclined, leave me a comment below or just send me an email, askmontina@gmail.com, and I'll answer your email in my next video. I'm not sending personal emails back, but I will answer and respond in my next video. Anyways, thanks as always for subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.